Everybody wants some blast of magic, 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 magic. Look up the magic in me.
It's Wednesday here at Bob's Magic Emporium. Time for the next episode of Magician 101, the show for all magicians. Okay, we got a lot of questions this week. Before I get to the questions, though, I do want to let everybody know the question I posed last week: should I put the bricks up behind my magic shop? And a lot of people said no, and I think they're right. I think it's going to look bad if I put the bricks up. So the few people, like I think it was one or two, who wanted the bricks up, sorry, I'm not going to put the bricks up. I think most people are right. It's not going to look very good. Okay. We have the most amount of questions, I think, that we've ever had in Magician 101, so I'm really excited. Post your questions down below for next week. I'll give them an answer. So here we go. It's a lot of product reviews this week. And remember, if you have any questions about performing magic as well, I'm also available to answer those as well. So, but you can still submit products too, because I like talking about new and innovative products that are on the market. All right. First question is from Perry. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name, as I said many of times before, because I know I'm going to butcher it. It says, do you know any good tricks for Movember? Now, at first, I was like, what are you talking about? And then I saw something on the internet about Movember, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's where men try to grow men grow mustaches during the month of November to promote cancer, to bring awareness to cancer. Not promote it, that was bad. To bring awareness to male cancer. So that's why they grow out the mustache. There's only, honestly, in my opinion, one trick that'll work for Movember. And the problem with the trick is, it doesn't work for Movember. You'll see what I mean in a minute. It's Christopher Ballinger's mustache. By the way, for the month of Movember, if you buy Chris Ballinger's mustache, Magic Geek will donate 25% of all the sales, I think it is, of mustache to some kind of cancer research fund. I don't have it off the top of my head. I didn't write it down, and I should have. But definitely go out and buy mustache if you haven't. This is the perfect time to buy it, because I think it's 25% off, I think, right now. And 25% of the proceeds, I think, go to... you can go to Magic Geek's blog and see. The only bad thing about mustache is the mustache, it sticks to your face if you have any facial hair. So if you are growing a mustache out from Movember, I'm not, because I look horrible with a mustache, in my opinion. I can't pull off a mustache. I look like a nerd with a mustache. I mean, seriously, I look dumb with a mustache on. But anyways, you can't stick the mustache to your face. It won't stick to facial hair. Now, you can have it stick to your forehead, or if there's no facial hair on your chin, it can stick to your chin or on your arm or something like that. But if you want to do the standard mustache routine, you can't have it appear on your lip, on your upper lip here, because it doesn't stick to other facial hair. So you can't do it. So you got to make sure that if you do mustache, you are clean shaven here on where your stash would go. But Chris Ballinger's mustache is a really great trick. I don't have the exact day, but I did do it for the 365-day magic challenge. Definitely check that out, because it's a really fun trick to do. It's one of my favorite tricks to do. My favorite one of Chris Ballinger's is this trick right here, the Mad Sponges. That's my favorite one. But this one's, I think, a close second. It's really, really fun to do. All right. Nick Penny says he was offering some advice to Mr. Tadpole last week, because Mr. Tadpole's question was some good coin money magic tricks. And I told him I thought $2 Twister was a good trick, and so was Barry Taylor's Ultimate Penny Routine, which is definitely a great trick. I did that early on in the challenge. I think it was day 16 I did that, or 17, something like that. But Nick Penny says, my favorite money trick is called Strange and Stranger by Jay Sankey. You can see my performance on my channel, title Day 59. He's doing a 365-day magic challenge as well, Nick Penny is. Don't mean to spam your video, 444RR. Okay. Definitely go check out Nick Penny's 365-day magic challenge. He's doing pretty well on it, so definitely go check that out. And don't spam my videos. Don't worry about spamming them, because it's not spam. If you're helping out other magicians, I encourage that. So if I don't talk about a trick here on the show, and you know one that you really like to perform, like let's say he says his favorite money trick is Strange and Stranger. I don't know that trick. I didn't even know about that trick, and I gotta go look that up now that I think about it and see what it's about. But I gotta watch his performance too, because I think I skipped that day for some apparent reasons. I don't remember that name. But anyways, so I like when people help other magicians out by posting their favorite tricks in the comments below, because we all don't know every trick that's put out on the market. I may know some that you don't know of, and you may know some that I don't know of. So definitely help out other magicians in the comments below. And also, I'll talk about that in a moment. And Nick Penny also says this: I love the show, Bob. I look forward to it every week. Thank you, Nick Penny. If we're ever in the same area, we should set a time to jam. I may be going to New York City for a few days in February. Maybe I can make a layover in Maryland. would love that. Come to Bob's Magic Emporium. We'll jam, we'll do a little magic, and maybe film some videos if you come to Maryland, if you want. But really cool if you could. So that'd be neat to have Nick Penny as a special guest star. Maybe even on this show we could have him as a special guest star. Who knows? We'll see. And the Thought of Magic also helped out Mr. Tadpole, and he says The Pennies by Giovanni Lavara is a showstopper money trick that is super fun and easy. If you're looking for some easy money magic that kills, by the way. Okay, first of all, nice to see your name in the comments, Thought of Magic. That's a new person. He hasn't commented before, so great to have you on the show. First of all, The Pennies is a new routine that has just come out on the market very recently, and it's a routine where you place 10 pennies in a little square. Actually, it's 40 pennies. You place 40 pennies, 10 in each row, and you have the spectator tell you how many pennies to move from a certain row, and then you do a little maneuvering yourself. You show your hands empty the whole time, and then some random spectator will count how many pennies are in each, or how many total pennies there are in each column, and it always comes out to be 10. And then but you only have 40 pennies. You take nothing away, you add nothing, which is really cool. The only thing about the trick, though, a lot of reviews have started to come out about it. People have said that you're really not getting the trick. You're getting Giovanni's presentation. You're getting his routine, his pattern, his performance. That is what makes the trick, a lot of people have been saying, especially like the Wizard product review. They talked about it last week. Not today, but they talked about it last week. And they talked about, sorry, my nose is like itching me. It's killing me right now. I don't know why it's so itchy, but anyways, they talked about it last week, and they said that it's a really great trick. But you have to do it sort of like he performs on the DVD, because that is really what you're getting. That's what makes the routine so great, is his performance. But other than that, I hear it's a really great trick. So look into that, Mr. Tadpole. But I don't know how I feel about it. So, because I don't have the DVD, and I don't really do a lot of money magic. And the thing is, you can't do that routine strolling. It's hard to do strolling because you need a big table for it, because you need to be able to put 10 or 40 pennies in a square. So you need a big space for that. All right, Noah Brady has 4 questions. He said, what do you think about the appearing rose? Okay, the appearing rose is a routine where you take a red silk, you vanish it, and then the red silk appears as a rose on the top of this stem. So you have a stem with no rose on the top of it, and then boom, the rose appears after you vanish this red silk. I don't have the routine. I looked at it. Looks okay. There's a lot of other routines out there that I think you could do with a rose. If you wanted to do something with a rose in it, there's one that, oh gosh, the America's Got Talent dude. I just had his name and all my registers went to blank. Oh gosh, Kevin James. There we go, Kevin James. He did one. You can look up the YouTube video of Kevin James doing Rose. I think it's just called the Rose. And what it is he takes this napkin and he folds it very intricately into a rose, and then he burns it. Of course, magicians will know what it really is. And then a real rose appears, and he hands it to this little girl. Really cool trick, because he also makes the rose. He makes the paper float, and the little girl waves her hand over the paper, and it starts floating. And then he turns it into a rose. The rose floats. He burns it, and then boom, out pops this real rose. It's really cool. I like that trick better. If you're looking for some kind of flower magic, that's a really good one to do, because you can make a real rose appear and hand it off to your volunteer. And I think it's called The Rose, so go look that up. It's by Kevin James. But if you put in Kevin James Rose, it's going to be right there on YouTube. All right, Noah Brady also asks about Bag O Light. I actually don't have this trick, but I want it. It's one of the things on my magic list. It's kind of at the bottom, but it's one of those things on there. It's an ending to a delight routine. So what you're doing basically is you're eating the delights, you're making the delights move around the sky or in the air, and then you drop these delights into this paper bag. And as you do, you see the light go dunk, 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 dunk to the bottom of the bag. And then you keep doing it about 10 times. And when you're done, you dump the bag out, and all the little lights roll across your table. It's really, really cool. I recommend going to check out the demo for it, because it's a really neat little thing. And it's kind of a great ending to the light routine. And the best thing is, you can have your bag sitting over here, and you could be all the way over here, and you could be like doing basketball shots or chucking the lights in there, and the bag will go dunk, 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 dunk. It's really cool. That is the deluxe version of that bag. The regular Bag-O-Light trick may not be that, but I think it's the Bag-O-Light Deluxe. And you can do that by being like halfway across the room and chucking these lights into this bag. So it's really cool. And Noah Brady also asks about acrobatic silks. Acrobatic silks is where you have two red silks, one on the left side, one in the middle, and a blue silk on the right side. And then you basically like kind of just wiggle the silks, and you'll see them jump. So the blue one ends up in the middle, and then there's two reds on each end. So it's really a cool trick. It looks cool. There's different versions of this routine, I think. There's one that I've seen where it's rats. It's a rat hanging down, and what you do is you shake it, and the rat jumps from the end into the center. And there's other versions of that routine. So that one I think is kind of an okay trick. I don't have that one, but I think it looks kind of cool. So I probably would have to get that one to play around with it to see if I like it or not. But from what the demo shows, it looks kind of cool. And, you know, it's probably pretty easy to do. But, you know, I think it looks kind of cool. So I think if you're wondering if you should get that, it looks cool. So I would see for that trick what other magicians are saying in product reviews online. And Noah Brady has one more question. Vanishing Coke. All right. Now, Vanishing Coke I reviewed last week. Now, I don't know which one you're talking about. There's one Vanishing Coke out there where it's a Coke can. You put it in a little cylinder, and you tip the cylinder up, you blow in it, and a red silk shoots out, and there's no Coke in there. I reviewed that last week. If you're wondering about, I don't have the actual trick. This is the bottle. But if you're wondering about the Vanishing Coke bottle, where you take a Vanishing Coke bottle, you put it in a paper bag, and then you crumple up the bag, and the Coke disappears. That's the one I'm going to review today for you. So that's the one you mean. I'm going to review that one. So what it is you get this Coke bottle and you crumple it. You put it in a bag. Now I've already done this for the 365-day magic challenge. So go check out that video of the performance and see how I perform the trick. But it's a really great trick. I use it in all of my shows, my kids shows, my stage shows. And it really goes over really well, especially the first part of the routine where I take the Coke and I say, I'm going to make it travel from this bag to that bag, and I pull it out of the bag and I walk it over and drop it in. And the kids are like, really? We caught that. And then, so then I say, oh, you wanted me to do it invisibly. All right, and I crumple up the bag and the Coke disappears and jumps back into this bag. It's really cool. I have the older version where it uses a glass Coke bottle. There are some versions out there where it is a plastic bottle. And I recommend those a little bit more. Those look like a really cool version of the trick. I really like those. There's 3 different kinds. There's an empty one, there's a full one, there's a half one. Now, I don't have it's called Super Coke is the name of that one. And that one, I hear if you're going to get that one, the half bottle is the best one to get because you can actually take Coke and pour it out and drink it, and then you can make the bottle disappear. It's really cool. So I recommend getting Super Coke or the Vanishing Coke bottle. I don't know if you're talking about, if you're talking about Vanishing Coke, Noah Brady, the one with the tube and the Coke can, I reviewed that last week. All right, and Jay Brothwick has the final questions. He's got a couple of them. Amazing. Thank you so much. I will check into the tricks. What do you think of Behind the Illusions by J.C. Sum and Magic Babe Ning DVD? Okay, I looked into that, and what it is, it's a DVD that explains J.C. Sum and Magic Babe Ning's big stage illusions. It talks about how to build them. It talks about how to present them. It talks about how to do the routine for them. So if you're into the really big stage magic, like making women vanish in boxes and cutting women in half, that's what the DVD is for. It goes into how to build and present their illusions that they do. Now, I don't do any really big stage illusions like cutting women in half and things like that because of the fact that it's like thousands of dollars to build those things or to even buy those tricks. So, and I don't have the space in my house to store those. So I don't use those tricks. But if you're into the big stage magic, it looks like a really, really cool thing. So if you're into those really big stage illusions, I recommend going to buy that DVD because you're going to learn how to build their routines and their tricks as well. All right, and Jay wants to know, balloon to rabbit trick. I would like to get one for my show, but do you think there's a better production box than that? Please tell me. And he goes into another question, which I'll talk about in a minute. All right, balloon to rabbit, where you take a balloon, blow it up, you draw. Now, the way Magic Geek did it in their DVD is they blow up the balloon and then Chris draws a face of a rabbit on it, puts it in this little blue box, pops the balloon, and it turns into a rabbit. Honestly, I think that is the best balloon to rabbit production. I think any kind of rabbit production device will work. I kind of like those a little better. Barry Taylor, I've talked about a lot before. He got me started into magic because when I was 3 years old, I saw Penn and Teller on TV and I just fell in love with magic. Even though I was 3 years old, I sat there and I watched the entire magic special, according to what my family says. And I just love magic. My family, when I was 5, got me a cheap magic set. But anyways, long story short, Barry Taylor, when I was 8, came to my house, did my birthday party when I was 8. And he had a production device where he changed a dove into a rabbit. It's kind of the exact same production device as balloon to rabbit. So you could stick a dove in there if you do dove and rabbits. You could stick a dove in there and turn the dove into a rabbit. You could definitely do that as well. But Barry's one that got me started in magic, by the way. So shout out to Barry Taylor. I know he's not even watching this, but shout out to him anyways. So I recommend getting those because when I was 8, that was really cool to see the dove at the end of the show change into this rabbit. And he let the rabbit run around and he let all the kids, including myself, pet the rabbit. So it was really cool. So I recommend getting a rabbit, something to rabbit production device. I don't do any animal magic in my show. The closest thing is I use Rocky Raccoon. That's the only closest thing to an animal I use in my show. But I do recommend getting something like getting a production device if you do rabbit stuff, and see if you can find one where a dove turns into a rabbit. There's one that looks like a big circus wagon that I think that'd be really good to get as well. I've seen that in some magic stores before. But if you do rabbit magic, find something that you can transform the rabbit because it's really cool and gives a great ending to a rabbit routine. All right, and also, please tell me the multiplying martini bottle trick. Well, of course, I can't tell you the trick because I can't tell you how it works. But if you have this item, could you tell me what you think of this trick and what set to get? A 12 bottle, 8 bottle, thanks for all. Okay, first of all, Jay Brothwick is leaving YouTube for a little bit. I'm very sad about that. I did want to talk about that. Jay, please come back to YouTube very soon. I know he's watching this video right now because he told me he would still watch Magician 101. He said he'd be back very soon, so please come back soon, Jay. All right, so I do have the multiplying bottles. It's right down here, right there on the bottom shelf of my magic shop, and I'll bring out one of the bottles so you can see it here. Let me get the, so of course you get the 2 tubes, and you get a certain amount of bottles. Let me grab one of the bottles. Boom. And you also need a glass. So you need some kind of glass for the trick as well. Glass is not supplied, by the way. You have to get your own glass. Now, he says, should I go with an 8 bottle, 12 bottle, 10 bottle? It depends on what routine you're going to do. You got to do a little research. Now, if you're going to make up your own routine, it really depends. Now, the higher bottle count set that you get, the more it's going to cost. So, if you go with a 12 bottle set, that's going to be more expensive than an 8 bottle set. Most magicians I know of use a 10 bottle set. It's sort of like the standard bottle set in magic is the 10 bottle. Now, there are some published routines that use a 12 bottle, that use an 8 bottle. So it depends if you're going to do somebody else's routine and not make up your own like I do, then you got to figure out what bottle count they use. And it should say, when you buy the DVD, you also, like if it's a DVD, it'll say you also need a 10 bottle set of multiplying bottles. It should tell you in the product description. Now, I got to find that DVD. It's on this, it's probably hidden. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. There it is. Let me grab it right here. All right, perfect. This is the routine I use. If you're looking for a routine, a lot of people just do the standard David Copperfield multiplying bottle routine. But if you're looking for a real good one, it's this guy right here. This is Paul Romney's multiplying bottle routine. It is a hilarious piece of magic. This requires either a 10 bottle set of multiplying bottles, or it requires a 10 bottle color change, where what it is you have like different colored bottles and they change. I've worked this routine into my I think I have a 12 bottle set, I think, and I've worked it because I just take 2 of the bottles out and I just use it as 10 bottles. But this is a hilarious routine. It is basically the Vanishing Bandana. It is kind of the same thing. You get a package delivered from a magic company. The instructions are on CD, and you learn how to do the multiplying bottles. And at the end of the trick, all the bottles have multiplied, and you have your full 10 bottles. Really hilarious routine, jam-packed with a lot of really hilarious magic. I think I've done this for the Magic Challenge. I don't remember. If I have not done this for the Magic Challenge, I'm going to go back as soon as I get finished filming this. I'm going to go back and see if I have done it. If I haven't done it, it'll be uploaded for tomorrow. But if I have done it, just type in multiplying bottles. Okay, so if you don't see, if tomorrow's magic video, if tomorrow's 365-day Magic Challenge video is not the multiplying bottles, then you know I've already uploaded it, and you can just go look on my channel. Just type in, search for my channel, multiplying bottles. The multiplying bottles is a classic of magic, really great trick. It's pricey. A 10-bottle set is going to run you about 120 American dollars. So it's going to be pretty expensive, but it's well worth it. Now mine I got on the fly. I got mine. There's a video on my channel called What I Got at the Magic Flea Market. I got this for 40 bucks. So very inexpensive bargain I got. And it's very nice. This is a very nice set too. I mean, there's no damage. It was used. I didn't get it new. I got it used, but there's no wear on the bottles or anything like that. So it's really cool. So I recommend a set of multiplying bottles. All right, that's going to do it for this week for Magician 101. Thank you for all the questions. Great show. Post all of your questions down below for next week. I'll give them an answer, and I'll see you next Wednesday for an all-new Magician 101. And I'll show you the cards that I have. I have a Jack, and I also have 3 10s. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the Jack, and we're going to see. I would say normally an hour, but if you're doing magic 100% full time and you're doing nothing else. Shop Till You Drop, hosted by Pat Flynn. One of my favorite modern one of my favorite 90s